Hi, boys. Today we will learn about Voronoi diagrams. So there are four main things in Voronoi diagrams. First of all, we will look at this triangle. This triangle is a polygon. There is another triangle here. You can see the polygons are there. So each polygon in a Voronoi diagram is called a cell. So this is a name of a polygon. The sides of the polygon are called edges. So this side is an edge of the cell. The point where the edges meet is called a vertex. So here we have a few vertices. So vertex is where the edges meet. So this is the simplest Voronoi diagram. So let's start from this question. James is in emergency and he is making a call. Which hospital should respond? Of course, the hospital which is nearest to him. And this is hospital B. How do we know? We need to take help from Voronoi diagram. These three edges, you can see, the three edges have been drawn for you. These three edges are made by using the concept of perpendicular bisector. This line, that is edge, this line is a perpendicular bisector of AB. There is another line here. This is perpendicular bisector of AC. This line is perpendicular bisector of BC. We know how to draw perpendicular bisectors. By making perpendicular bisectors, we can decide that which hospital is closer to James and should respond to him, should send the ambulance to him. Okay, so here in this triangle, you can see that a triangle here, three edges, vertex B, vertex A, vertex C. So I can make Voronoi diagram by making perpendicular bisectors here. This is one perpendicular bisector, this is another perpendicular bisector, this is third perpendicular bisector, and this perpendicular bisector is between A and C. So all the points here in this region are close to point B. All the points here in this region are present. These red points are close to C. The points which I am making with green color are close to A. So this is how I can divide this region into three parts to decide that which region is closer to which point. So these points are called sites. This is called a site. So there are three sites here in this diagram. There is another question over here, you can see. So Alicia is visiting a city and this person wants to drink some coffee. Of course, the person will go to the nearest coffee shop. So in order to decide which coffee shop is closer to the person, we will draw perpendicular bisectors. So here you can observe that three perpendicular bisectors have been drawn. This perpendicular bisector is the perpendicular bisector between the two coffee shops. So there are other two perpendicular bisectors here and here. So if you simplify, just get the vertex of these three perpendicular bisectors over here. This is a vertex of the three perpendicular bisectors. This is the point where three perpendicular bisectors join each other. So by making actual perpendicular bisectors, you can decide that the person is closest to this coffee shop E. So you need to draw perpendicular bisectors using compass and ruler. Here, this is the last example for today. We are asked to find out the third edge. We know that the edges are formed, the edges are called perpendicular bisectors. This is one edge, this is other edge, this is the third edge. So three edges are the perpendicular bisector and they meet at the vertex. Here in this question, D point is the vertex and the third edge should be here somewhere because this will be the perpendicular bisector of BC. So they want us to find out the equation of the third edge. So it means that we will find the equation of this line, which is perpendicular bisector of BC. Find the equation of this line. In a way, they are asking us to find out the equation of this line. I know that in order to find the equation of this line, I must have calculated a point and gradient of this line. The point on this line is point D. So x1 and y1 can be taken from point D, and the gradient can be calculated by using the points B and C. Let's go ahead. Here you can observe that gradient of line BC has been calculated, as the perpendicular bisector will have gradient like this. Remember boys, m1 times m2 is equal to -1. So by using this equation, we have found the gradient of this line. Gradient of this line is 1, and D point is 4.5, 1.5, and D point is 4.5 and 1.5. So it's x1, this is x1, this is y1, and this is m. We can use these values here in this equation as we discussed earlier. So once you simplify it, you get this thing, and then this is your final answer. Thanks boys.